fier chevalier, l'éclat de ton armure, comme un soleil, attire tous les yeux. Ta loyauté, ton âme toute pure, nous ont conquis et nous voici joyeux. Saint-Georges, guide-nous sur la route claire et belle. Saint-Georges, guide-nous, en nous ferme prêt à tout. Garde à nos yeux le charme d'un sourire quand nous souffrons au plein de notre effort. Édussions-nous subir un long martyre. Tiens nos cœurs droits quand faibliront nos corps. Saint-Georges, guide-nous sur la route claire et belle. Saint-Georges, guide-nous, en nous ferme prêt à tout. Ô grand vainqueur de ton séjour de gloire, assiste-nous quand ici nous luttons. Conduis nos pas aux routes de victoire, jusqu'à la mort, s'il faut nous te suivrons. Saint-Georges, guide-nous sur la route claire et belle. Saint-Georges, guide-nous, en nous ferme prêt à tout.
Hello, welcome to John Lee's Imitation of the Profession of Faith. In this video, we will be talking about the priesthood, or, which is one of the 7 sacraments. The next 2 sacraments will be marriage, and then the anointing of the sick, which, I figured I'd talk about the priesthood because I remember the Archbishop of Portland, Alexander, he once said that, think of the priesthood first before you think about living out the matrimony, before you decide to maybe go for the sacrament of holy matrimony, which I'm definitely not called for the priesthood. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'd probably be a decent-ish priest, but it's like, no, I'm definitely called to have a family, and I definitely feel like I have a moral responsibility to get married and stuff, and it's like, that's kind of like how I feel about things. But I thought I'd just cover the sacrament of the priesthood first, because why not? The sacrament of the priesthood is a really awesome thing, because priests, they're like full on living out the lives Christ-like, because they do the divine office. They do the liturgy of the hours, and they do mass, or if they're in a monastery, they also do mass, and they're able to absolve sins, and then consecrate the host, and all that fun jazz, and all that cool stuff. So it's but the thing is, you can't be married if you're a priest now, which kind of is why I wouldn't become a priest, because it's oh man, I can't be married. Even though there are some rites in the Catholic Church, such as the High Anglican Ordinate, and then the Byzantine Catholic Church, and then I believe the Ukrainian Catholic Church, you can be married and become a priest. But don't quote me on that. For sure, the Byzantine Rite and the High Anglican Ordinate Rite, you can be married and become a priest. But yeah, I don't intend on becoming a priest. So yeah, I know Saint 𝓒𝓱𝓮𝓬𝓴, he intended on becoming one, but then he passed away before he could. But there are so many saints who are priests. I mean, I'd say the majority of the saints are priests or nuns. Saint John Bosco, Saint Thomas Aquinas, Saint Francis of Assisi, Saint Augustine, not sure about Saint Ignatius, might be Saint Ignatius as well, Saint Louis de Montfort, all the apostles, who else? Saint Patrick, my boy Saint Patrick here, he was a priest, well, bishop, you get my point. So, you know, I'm not gonna put up a display or anything because I don't have the editing for that, because I'm using my school computer to edit like some of these videos and stuff. So yeah, in my John Lee Rants About Stuff series, I'm definitely gonna be covering why I hate a guy named Parker. And I know hate's a strong word, but yeah. Anyways, that's off topic. The sacrament of the priesthood. So, you know, you kind of discern and stuff. You're like, okay, maybe I want to become a priest, maybe I don't. And then you go to seminary. First, you become a deacon, which, if you're married, you can become a deacon. I think there's like another thing before deacon. I just say high altar server, but it's like alkalite or something like that. And I know that at my old church, before they got the Syrian priest that they have now, not the Syrian priest, the Syrian deacon, the high altar server, Mark, he was too old to become a deacon, but he basically acted as deacon, and he actually sat in the deacon chair until the actual deacon came, because yeah, for a while St. Nicholas did not have a deacon, even though, because I think like the old one, he left for Port Orchard, which is north of Gig Harbor. So yeah. Anyways, you're married and then you become a deacon, and then like if you aren't married and you become a deacon, then you can become a priest, and then after you become a priest, I think you get nominated or something, and then you could possibly become an archbishop, which the whole archbishop and then cardinal system, that's fun and stuff. So, you know, like here in Washington State, specifically Western Washington, we have Archbishop Palatine, and then he has 2 auxiliary bishops. Oh yeah, and then if you decide to join like a religious order like the Dominicans, there's a bajillion of them. There's the Franciscans, and then they have like a bunch of sub-orders like the Jesuits and the Capuchins, and then the Carmelites, like the brown scapular, this is like a Carmelite thing. And then, you know, the St. Thomas Aquinas cord. My St. Thomas Aquinas medallion broke, so obviously I'm still wearing the St. Thomas Aquinas cord. Not showing you guys because that'd be inappropriate, but that's a Dominican thing, so, you know, I have like a lot of cool stuff, I guess. And a lot of saints are Capuchins, like St. Padre Pio. And he was a priest. He was a priest. And then there's brothers. There's a lot of titles and like styles and stuff, because like you have like brother, and then you have father, and then I believe for archbishops it's most reverend, or his excellency, or his serenity, could be wrong about that, or sereneness, whatever. And then his holiness, you know, Pope Francis. Oh yeah, and then there's the cardinals. They're a fun bunch, the cardinals. Thankfully I've not met any of the cardinals yet, because I'd have some strong words with them. Because sometimes they act like the archbishops in Germany. The bishops in Germany, you know, don't like those guys. They're heretics. You don't care if someone's gonna be like, you can't criticize them. You're lazy. I'm gonna criticize them because they're straight up heretics and heresy. They preach heresy. So, you know, rebuke your brother if they have sinned. So I'm rebuking my brothers. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So the priesthood, you basically go through seminary. I've looked at like the seminary life stuff, and it's just awesome, because you just like get woken up by a bell at 4 a.m. It's basically college, but way cooler, because you're with a bunch of other dudes, and like you have rec time where you make iconography and then do crocheting, or you do farm work, like I believe the St. Thomas Aquinas SSPX seminary, they have like a farm. The FSSP seminary, I believe, is in Kansas. If I was to become a priest, I'd probably become a priest in the FSSP seminary stuff, or do the High Anglican Ordinate, which would mean I'd go to the south, or I'd think about becoming a Byzantine Catholic priest, because if I was to go to the priesthood, but I'm not going to the priesthood, those are the three things I'd probably go to, because FSSP, they specialize in traditional Latin Mass, and you know, we need more traditional Latin Mass priests. I'm just saying, we gotta boost those numbers. So if you want to join the priesthood, go to FSSP. They seem pretty cool. I've seen their training videos. I think I actually have a playlist of their training videos saved. They're long, but very educational. So yeah, the priesthood, there's like a whole bunch of ceremonies and stuff that I'm totally forgetting. Like, I think they actually get like a little cloth that they give to their mom, that's like a holy object, and they get their vestments, and then they get the collar thing. I'm totally forgetting what it's called. But yeah, they get the vestments, and then they get their collar thingy. And I should really know what that's called, but I'm totally forgetting off the top of my head. And then they become a priest. They either become a diocesan priest, which is, you know, like the priest you see in like your regular churches when you go to mass and stuff. And they're pretty cool. I respect the priesthood. I have a huge respect for clergy. You know, I've seen a lot of good priests in my life and stuff so far. So yeah. And then there are those small handful that are not good priests, and that give us Catholics a bad reputation, and then give Catholic priests a bad reputation, which it's like, you shouldn't be doing that. It's because it's like, you know, Hollywood, they're filled with pedophiles, so, you know, I guess everyone in Hollywood and LA is a pedophile, although I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, Catholic priests, they're not all pedophiles. They aren't. They literally aren't. And there's virtues training, which is like, basically like, okay, these are the rules. Don't be a pedo. Don't do stupid stuff. So yeah, that's, I guess, the sacrament of the priesthood is join it, become a priest, holy orders, and all that fun stuff. Anyways, next video, the sacrament of marriage. Alright. So yeah, that's the sacrament of the priesthood. I mean, I probably should have gone into more detail, but that's all I can think of. So, bye-bye. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notification bells. I'll see you guys in the next video. The sacrament of marriage. And then the anointing of the sick. And then, I don't know what I'll do after that. I'll think of something.